3 seconds, 2.
Welcome to a new year of Schoolboy Cup football, the competition which has been up and running since way back in 1975. We kick off this year at Marathon Stadium in Newcastle, and a good match-up too. The local hopes, Hunter Sports High against Patrician Brothers of Fairfield. Let's learn a little bit more about the two schools. Hunter Sports High, relatively new to the competition, but importantly that bottom stat. They won the under-16 all-schools knockout last year, a statewide competition, and a lot of the players that played in that will be on show this afternoon. And their opponents, Patrician Brothers Fairfield, hard to mention them without talking about their great successes. 6 times Cup champions, and on another 3 occasions they were runners-up. Joining me in commentary for season 2001, former Rabbitoh, former Rooster Sean Garlick. Good to have you back on deck.
Rossi, fantastic to be back, and a great game for us today. Well, they got to feel sorry for poor old Fairfield Pats. The real hard luck story of Cup football in recent years. This was their most devastating loss, 22 points all on a countback. They were beaten in 1998 to Marsden College of Randwick, a team that contained Braith and Astor, now with Canterbury. The following year, Blacktown, just as bad, a 1-point loss, a field goal that ended their hopes. And then later that year also, a 2-point loss to Westfield Sports High. Things didn't get any better in year 2000 either. Went down to the final few minutes and a 10-point loss in the end to Blacktown. And let's hope they can do a lot better today against a pretty good side in Hunter Sports High.
We're ready for the two teams, and first out, Hunter Sports High. The two schools that we see today in the same section of the draw as the defending champions, St Gregory's College of Campbelltown. So a tough road for one of these two schools if they are to go all the way this year. And this is the lineup for Hunter Sports High from the back. Skewthorpe at fullback, Watt and Ridley the wingers, Mercer, Gilbert the centres, the halves Ty and Sumner, and the forwards Gordon, Lear, Tilse, Kelly, Slaney and Adams. And the player to watch in this Hunter Sports High is their captain and 5'8", Bradley Ty. Played with the New South Wales under-17s this year, a member of the successful Newcastle Knights SG ball-winning side, a real talent. And one of the most famous of all schoolboy sides, Fairfield Patrician Brothers. The two blue colours. So much success over the years. They last won the crown in 1992. And their lineup representing the school today, Talanoa at fullback, Muir and Falone on the wings, Wade Russell and Ty in the centres, Russell and Poisel the halves, Magali, Roberts, McEwen, Quinn, Kennedy and Curry the forward pack. And their player to watch also, the 5'8" and captain. Well, this bloke, they reckon last year he should have played for the Australian schoolboys. Daniel Russell suffered a very bad knee injury, but he's back 100% fit this year to lead his school side. The 4th year he's been in Cup football.
Wait.
Referee Gavin Badger.
Just wait for me, mate.
So the 2001 Cup is underway. These two schools seeded in the final 16, and straight from the kick-off, Fairfield Patrician Brothers cough it up. And Skewthorpe comes up with the ball for Hunter, only 25 metres away. That puts a bit of pressure on the Fairfield boys early. Test their defensive work out. They've never met before in open competition, these two schools. They have played at some lower age levels, and Hunter Sports High never beaten by Fairfield. Playing the ball, Dane Lear, only 15 metres away, and now Brett Slaney. Right in front of the Fairfield posts. Early chance with the Hunter boys. From Gateshead, just down the freeway. Luke Mercer. Now only 10 metres away from the line. Daniel Russell there in defence. It is the 5th tackle. Coming across for Stephen Gilbert. The little kick through. Almost a bad bounce for Talanoa. Will be trapped in goal. So a line dropout. But a bad start, Sean, right from the kickoff.
Yeah, absolutely the worst possible way to start a game for Fairfield Pats. Dropping the ball off the kickoff really put Hunter Sports High in a terrific position to attack early on. Although they probably weren't organised for this last tackle. They're 5'8", getting in a dummy half, Bradley Ty, but still able to come up with a repeat set.
In the meantime, Daniel Russell with the line dropout, and Stephen Gilbert comes back. One of the many junior Newcastle Knights representatives in this side. And a lot of them too only in year 11, so they'll still be around next year. Dane Lear, 25 away from the Fairfield line. Coming to centre field with Martin Kelly. He's one of the exceptions to the rule. He plays with the North Sydney junior representative teams. Hailing from the Central Coast, now Dane Tilse. Inside that 10-metre zone again. Kane Kennedy around the legs. Phillip Adams. First receiver is Ty. The player to watch. Not a good ball from Ty. Covered up there by Matthew Muir. And Fairfield have survived the early onslaught.
Well, they have very good defensive. Couple of sets there from Fairfield. One thing I noticed from them early, they've got a very big pack, and looks like they're going to use it, especially around the forwards, coming with some good tackles, smothering up Huddle Sports High, sniffing out any opportunity they had early.
Forward they go with Kennedy. Looks to be the biggest of the Patrician brothers Fairfield sides. They call him the monster. It's an apt title. They come wide with Mahana Tai. Only 16 years of age in this Fairfield side. And the kick supplied by Daniel Russell. It was a broken knee that he suffered last year. It wasn't ligament damage, it was a broken knee for the 5'8". And took him out of the New South Wales under-17 side and ruled him out of schoolboy contention, as now they rush wide with Stephen James Hunter inside the Fairfield half. Only 45 metres away from the line. Michael Watt back infield for another 7 metres. Now 38 metres away. A lot of work early for the number 11, Dane Lear. Well handled that time by Alex Magali. They're 30 away from the line. Phillip Adams. A scamper for 7 or 8. Will look to be perhaps a little more adventurous on this play. Skewthorpe for Ty. Then linking up, running wide, Martin Kelly, the front rower. Contained there by Mahana Tai, and also Daniel Russell, 5th tackle for Hunter Sports High. Tai thought about kicking and delivered the pass for Skewthorpe. Only 5 metres away from the line. The man who came up with a try saver, Nadim Curry. Kennedy got there over the top, but Curry, the number 9, the man who saved a certain try.
It looks dangerous with the ball, doesn't he, Bradley Ty? He held the ball out, feigned the kick, and then passed the ball on to Skewthorpe, who got through half a gap. There was a desperation tackle there from Curry, brought him down, and they were able to cover him up before he was able to get up and put it over the line. Another good set of defence from Fairfield Pats. They haven't had things go their way. They actually had their winger fall over out on that right-hand wing, which allowed Hunter Sports to make a good break, but they've recovered well.
And just outside their 30. This is Willie Roberts. As far as the 40-metre line, they tell me he's just back from a broken arm. Pretty good talent as well, the second rower. Halfback Poisel, part of the squad from last year, wide with Muir. Diminutive right winger for Fairfield. Daniel Russell, another kick, not a deep one. But it's his chasers who are onside, and there was a chance there for Falone. Ended up in the arms of Joe Ridley for Hunter High. But just for a moment, Ross Falone, the number 5 for Fairfield, was thinking, I get a good bounce on my way here.
Well, it was a different type of kick, wasn't it, from Daniel Russell? He elected to kick out wide here. It's often dangerous if it doesn't come off for you, but their chasers were on the ball and were able to get right up on the attack there of Hunter Sports High.
Now Adams works to the left with Lear. Appears to be doing 2 hit-ups for every one of his teammates, 1 at the moment. He's leading the count. Adams again, and back infield with Slaney. Now 40 metres away from the line. Scorer of the match-winning try in that all-schools knockout final last year. High kick here from Ty. No one wants to contest the ball bar Skewthorpe, the Hunter fullback. He's throwing a forward pass a good 3 or 4 metres. And it comes up for Wade Russell. Unusual finish there. No one in the Fairfield side was willing to get anywhere near the ball.
Well, that's the thing with those midfield bombs. I suppose Fairfield are thinking they don't want to risk dropping the ball, so they allow it to bounce, but then anything can happen. And Skewthorpe followed it through, but then lost control of the ball. It did go 3 or 4 metres forward, but Fairfield Pat's still hanging on.
A tidy offload there from Kennedy. They've been lost there by Poisel. And now referee Badger gets the call from his touch judge. It's only a small one, but it still counts, and Hunter High will get a scrum feed, 30 out.
Well, just a little knock on there. We saw Poisel go to pick the ball up off the ground. Just a little fumble. I think the referee initially missed it. He got a call from his touchy. Gives Hunter Sports High another good hope.
Tyres to the right side of this scrum, the number 6. He's about to get it. The captain, Skewthorpe there in support, got straight past Russell. Was covered up there by Magali and pushed the pass.
Knock on Blues.
And the call from Badger against Fairfield.
No.
So Hunter will get another chance.
So it was very messy in the end, but significant thing to come out of it was that right foot step. And the 2 plays we said to watch, Bradley Ty getting around his opposite number. Daniel Russell, he won't be happy with himself. Already he's got the better of him.
Good cover work too on the replay. Sean from the lock forward. Magali, what you expect from the scrum. It was textbook stuff from the lock. Coming across in defence. Sumner for Ty. That time a little breakdown. Skewthorpe got it flat-footed. Fullback who's got himself up in the line full time. Talanoa was the tackler, now with Daryl Gordon. One of 3 New South Wales under 17 reps in this Hunter High side. Skewthorpe and Ty the others. Martin Kelly. Some heavy combat. 5 metres away from the Fairfield line. Adams takes them to the left with a lock forward. Gordon. Stiff defence that time. Pushing the lock forward back. Bradley Ty to the right. Inside pass with Dane Tilse. There was a passage there to the try line. He lost the ball.
Well, I thought he was over there. All he had to do was virtually hold onto the ball and he got his body over the line, but somehow it just came loose in that final moment. There it is, just coming out of his hands. Otherwise, there was a perfect gap there, set up well by Ty. He really is directing the team well.
He only had a metre more to fall, the second rower to score. An offload from Grant McEwen. We'll talk about a battle of survival here for Fairfield early. Just hanging on, and now they've dropped it again. That was Magali. Turnover with Ty, puts pressure back on Fairfield yet again. 25 metres out. Adams passes for Kelly. And the defence looks a little tired now. They do have an excuse, but that was a little ragged coming up on the front rower. Skewthorpe passing to a man in motion, that is Mercer. And the lock forward, Gordon goes over to score. Daryl Gordon it was. Really hitting the line at pace. And Hunter Sports High open the scoring 4-0.
Well, here's the drop ball we see. Come on the first or second tackle, which is exactly what Fairfield Pats didn't need. They've been defending just about the whole first half here. They turned it over in good field position for Hunter. Here we just see Skewthorpe go to the line. It was a great ball in the end to Daryl Gordon, and it was a tiring defence, that's what it was. And that's what happens when you've got to defend for long periods.
Over to Sean Skewthorpe for the conversion attempt. 16 metres in from touch, only 18 metres out. First kick successful. And the home team, we can call them, they're in front. Hunter Sports High 6, leading Fairfield Pats 0. Back with the action, the Kellogg's Nutrigrain Cup and Daniel Russell. Restarting play for Fairfield Pats, conceding the first try of the match. In terms of territory, it has been all Hunter Sports High, but a lot of it through errors from Fairfield. The first came straight from the kickoff. They're yet to have the ball in their opponent's 30 or 40 metre zone. And a lot of defensive work starting to take its toll. Phillip Adams for Hunter Sports High. This is where you start to get tardy. Right around the marker they dropped off, and Phillip Adams helped himself to 15 metres. Ty putting his stamp on the match. The try scorer Gordon back for Ty, and then quick hands for Slaney. Now 30 metres away, and another missed tackle on the way through. McEwen fell off in the tackle. This is the 5th with Ty. Trying this bomb for the wing of Ross Falone. Falone came down with the ball. He looked like he was going to go for the big jump and ended up standing where he was and ended up with the football in any case.
It was a bit of a juggle, but he got it in the end. It was a catch he needed to make. They've been under tremendous pressure, Fairfield Pats. As you mentioned, Vossi, they haven't been up the other end of the ground with the football. And they need to just come out of this end, control the ball and get it down the other end. See if they can't get Hunter with a mistake coming out of trouble.
Well, the aim to rekindle the school spirit, Fairfield Patrician brothers this year. Paul Langmack, former player of the year, was at training this week. Bit of a pep talk. Up to halfway, right in the centre now. It's Willie Roberts who'll play it. Nadim Curry for Poisel. Passing wide for Muir, that's forward. And on the last tackle, so a changeover.
Well, that was a shame. It was right in front of us. I thought the ref could have let that one go, but Poisel dummying to kick and then electing to throw the long ball on the last tackle. Wasn't a bad option, but the referee just ruling that it had floated forward.
And they know this part of the field well. Inside Fairfield's half, Hunter Sportai starting the set of 6. Adams to the right with Ty. Completion rate terrible for Fairfield. And they trail by 6 points to 0. Back in field with Big Slaney. He winds himself up. Takes 3 or 4 paces before he really finds that top gear. Skewthorpe. Little step. Met front on by Robert Quinn. 20 metres away from the Fairfield line. And a chance to work back to this right with Ty. They stood back and watched there. That's danger. Kane Kennedy comes up with a tackle. 5th it is for Hunter Sportai, Skewthorpe, and a chance to run and score. They played the numbers there, and Stephen Gilbert gets the try for Hunter Sportai. Junior Knights representative, 2nd try for Hunter Sportai. They lead 10-0.
Well, Skewthorpe, I haven't seen a fullback so heavily involved in a game so early. Not only can he come onto the ball, but as you'll see here, a terrific cutout pass, finds the mark perfectly. And Stephen Gilbert, they always had the numbers out there, put the ball right on his chest, and he did the rest.
Skewthorpe, the man who set up the try then from the touchline. For a 12-0 lead for Hunter Sportai from 25 out. It will drift across the face, but they have jumped the gun this side. Hunter Sportai, they're singing and dancing early. They lead by 10 points to 0. Russell. Well, what Fairfield Pats need here, trailing by 10 points to 0. They would like Hunter Sportai to come up with an error somewhere early in this count to give them a chance. One chance attacking the Hunter Sportai line. It hasn't come so far in this first half. And the match is getting away from them. Try scorer Gilbert playing it. Back infield, Kevin Neve. One of their interchange players. Unlimited interchange in Schoolboy Cup football and the Nutri Cup. Slaney's been a hard worker for them. And tidy play the ball on halfway Adams. Another 15 made by the hooker. It's all becoming a little too easy for the dummy half. 5th tackle here for Hunter Sportai. And Ty's bomb back in field for Falone. And Falone that time did decide to leap and did it beautifully.
Well, he used the other one as a practice, didn't he? Virtually in the same part of the ground. He had plenty of time to size it up and got above the rest of them. Took it perfectly. But there's not much pressure going on Bradley Ty when he gets to kick the ball. It's a very tiring defence, Fairfield Pats. We said it earlier, but things aren't changing. They're a much bigger team. And what they need is the ball in their hands.
Kane Kennedy cops the treatment for Fairfield. They drive in. The halfback led the charge, Peter Sumner. Away with Curry. Got themselves to halfway now, Fairfield. Poisel. And Poisel able to run. They rushed up, it was Dane Tilse, and then the kick used. Skewthorpe for Hunter Sportai. He looks a likely customer. Dangerous with the ball in his hands. He's playing a Darren Lockyer type role in the Hunter Sportai attack. He's up in the line. He can stand in as a 5'8", the fullback.
Well, he's everywhere, isn't he? He's there when the ball's to be distributed. He's there when the ball's kicked back to cover up. And that was a good bit of work by Poisel. Again, electing to run on the last. They moved up quick, Hunter. He had no other choice. And then when he made that bit of a break, put it on the toe. But Sean Skewthorpe read it perfectly.
Ty up to the line that time and passing for Slaney. 35 away. Quickly to there to be the first receiver again. Ty, this right foot step is dynamite. Left Grant McEwen behind. Skewthorpe. 5th tackle for Hunter Sportai. Out wide it goes with Ridley. Back in for Skewthorpe. It's still on for Hunter Sportai. Skewthorpe. Angled run. Back to the uprights to score his team's 3rd try. Last tackle play, and they kept it in their hands. 14-0.
Just a case of ball watching, wasn't it? Skewthorpe with the ball out in front. He was looking to pick up a runner. We saw him just the earlier tackle here. Go to the line. Another good cut-out pass. Goes to the winger there in Joe Ridley. Then here we go, they just held off him here, expecting him to throw the ball, and all he did was put the foot down and passageway through to under the post. Isn't he having a super game?
He has set up one try and he now has one of his own. And to convert that 4-pointer from right in front. 3 tries they've scored in this first half. Hunter Sports High leading Fairfield by 16 points to 0. Big troubles for Fairfield Pats. What a match it's been for them. Well, they've probably only had the ball for 2 or 3 tackles, no more, inside the Hunter Sports High half. Frank Iema, the coach, has probably had better days. The man in charge of Patrician brothers. First time as the opens coach for this famous college. Adams here for Hunter Sports High. Kelly. It's all started up in the front row for Hunter Sports High. The meters made by players like the hooker and the 2 front rowers. Sumner passing off there for Gordon. Scored the first try. And that won't help the Fairfield cause. Mohammed Khalil is penalised. First time he's been involved in the action.
Well, he realises how important it is to slow this play the ball down. Hunter just doing what they like when they're on the ground. Just overdoing it here, Khalil. Holding him down just that extra little bit, forcing the penalty. First penalty of the game.
45 metres away from the Fairfield line. They will take a couple of straightforward plays and then set to the right. Here it is with Kelly. Plenty of oomph in that run. Then Curry front on. Now they're ready on the right with Ty. Not stepping, but finding Gordon with the inside pass. It's all one-way traffic. Talanoa at fullback is having all the green and white and yellow jumpers running at him. They'll let off there for Fairfield. But they are slicing them open at the moment.
Beautiful ball on the inside there to our try scorer, Darryl Gordon. And they both play together in the Knights SG ball side. They know each other's play. They're combining terrific, some of these players. Elected to hold onto the ball. He would just put it on his chest, maybe a little hard, and then to take the ball there.
That's the one. In front of it, in front of it.
They needed that drop ball. Fairfield to come away out of trouble. 16-0, not impossible to come back. Any more than that, though, will be extremely tough. Nadim Curry. And to the right with Grant McEwen. Good run here from the second rower back to halfway. Touch of the steamroller about him. Curry putting it down a dummy half, but knocked back. And welcome to the Hunter Sports High half, you could say, to Fairfield. They're 42 metres away. They trail by 16 points to 0. Poisel. And a cutout pass. We haven't seen much of Russell, the 5'8". Now Poisel's come up with a drop ball. Well worth having a look at the run of McEwen again. The big number 12 for Fairfield, though. This is a fearsome sight.
He gets past Phillip Adams here. He does his best, Phillip Adams, but he just steamrolls him. I would hate to guess what he weighs, but I tell you what, he's using every kilo to his advantage there.
Scrum win with Hunter Sports High and Sumner. Good front on defence there from Mahana Tai. Away with Dane Lear. Still been very impressed with his game. Has not stopped, hurt in that tackle. And
That's
penalised. That's very harsh.
He can hardly walk. He's got a cork in the thigh by the looks of it. And the referee, Gavin Badger, geez, there's no compassion shown from him. Get up, he says. I don't care if you're injured. Get up quicker.
He's got him for planting the ball down on the ground and levering himself up. So by the rule book, Badger's got it 100% right.
He's a real stickler, Badger. But gives Parramatta, Fairfield Pats, I should say, their best opportunity.
They're only 20 away. McEwen ready to make a change. Hunter Sports High might have time before the half-time break. It's Darryl Gordon waiting to come on. Wade Russell gets within 5 for Fairfield. And there's a chance at a dummy half for Russell. Able to keep it alive. Khalil. Over the back was Adams. Still only 5 metres away. Curry. They rushed up off the line. They're going to pay the price because Russell has charged over the line. I think it was Heath Jackie who came off the line, the number 15. Russell only needed half a chance. He took it. They're on the board at 16-4.
Well, it was eager, swarming defence by Hunter Sports High. They really wanted to get up in their face, but as we saw there, that play just getting off the line, leaving
real
that gap
opportunities in this
directly
first
from where
half
he
for their
came
captain
from.
to shine, but
And, he did
little
well to get
chance
the
there.
ball
He
over
took
and
it,
down in the end.
gets the 4-pointer. So Russell, one visit to the 20, comes up with a try, and now to make it 6. And they'll go to the dressing rooms for half-time with their tails up. They did trail by 16-0. They've got it back to 16-6. Game 1 of the 2001 Nutri Cup will break with Hunter Sports High from Newcastle leading Fairfield Pats by 16 points to 6. Welcome back to Marathon Stadium, second half, and Hunter Sports High with a 10-point advantage to start this second period. But the try just before the break, perhaps the start of the fight back for Fairfield. His tackles in the first half, plenty from Fairfield Pats, and I suppose on that stat they're happy to have only considered 3 tries, and their completion rate not that flash either. But they are only down by 10. They score first this half. They really put a bit of pressure on Hunter Sports High, who are in possession.
They can make a world of difference, that try they scored just before half-time. We already have seen a mistake from Hunter, even though they covered up with that loose ball from dummy half. But they may have exposed a few problems they got in defence close to the line. First time they got up there, they scored, Fairfield Pats.
Martin Kelly, only a metre inside Fairfield territory. Last tackle here for Hunter. Ty is the man who has the reins of this side. He's done all the kicking. Fielded nicely over the head there by Matthew Muir. And first man up on the chase is Dane Lear, and he does the job. 15 away.
They really need to look at their ball control coming out of here, where they had some problems in the first half. Just dropping that ball and giving Hunter every opportunity down their end. Maybe just risky passes they were trying to offload.
The number 3 playing the ball. We'll look to see a bit more of him in this second half. He actually played in the pack this year with the Parramatta under-18s. Wade Russell in the centres here for his school side. Here he is again. There's size about him, looking to stand in that tackle of Gilbert. 5th tackle for Fairfield. Inside the Hunter half, Daniel Russell's kick has found the gap between Skewthorpe and Watt. Skewthorpe from his own goal line, one of their 3 try scorers from the first half. Good tackle front on by Ben Weir.
Well, a much better set from Fairfield Pats. They got the ball right down the other end. Now let's see what their defence is like. And they've got Hunter coming out of their own end. You find you never get tired when you're tackling the other team coming off their line. How hard it is, though, when you're defending your own line. I think it's a nervous energy you use up. Just makes it all that more difficult to make that tackle.
Gordon the lock forward. 15 metres inside his own half. Yet another one of their try scorers from that first half here. Dane Lear running wide. Second rower. And another good charge. 45 away from the Fairfield line. Last play. A chance to run on the last, and that's what Ty decides to do. Skewthorpe utilising the chip. Gets the bounce, Skewthorpe, and then loses the ball. And Fairfield Pats back with it. And we have a Fairfield player down. May even be the fullback who made the tackle on Skewthorpe. Wasn't it a lovely bounce to come up? And then it did appear that Talanoa got it right in the head, perhaps the hip of Skewthorpe. We restart play. 10 metres away from their line, Fairfield. 16-6 they trail. Daniel Russell not happy about and lying about in the tackle. Khalil out of the 30. And I tend to agree with Fairfield there. Hunter Sports High getting a little slow to roll away. Here again, Dane Lear has slowed up to play the ball of Russell. Poisel spreads wide here for Magali. And able to offload nicely for Poisel. Gordon, the clean-up work in defence. Is now Curry running to that blind side and able to make 10 metres. 5th tackle, 35 away from the Hunter line. Mahana Ty backed himself into a corner. Russell gets a rushed bomb in. Skewthorpe no pressure. But at least Fairfield completing their set, growing in confidence.
Yeah, terrific tackle there in the end by Bryce Poisel. Been doing a lot of work there in the back, tidying up, getting a bit of second phase play happening. But what they really need to do, Fairfield Pats, and I think Frank Iommi, the coach, would have stressed it at half-time, is play the ball quickly.
Now another run from Dane Lear. Oh, gee, he's been strong. North's SG ball, they're under 18 side this year. Just inside Fairfield's half. Slow play the ball, Phillip Adams, stung in the defence. Line breaks only one the difference, but it is 3 tries to 1. 45 away from the Fairfield line. Hunter Sports High representing Newcastle as the seeded school in the round of 16. Last year's runners-up coming through qualifying, St Francis Xavier's. And now the kick fielded by Falone. He's been safe under the high ball, not much pressure on that one, but a couple of good takes in the first half.
We don't know whether Hunter are going to maybe change their tactics, as we see a good break here being made by Tahana Tai. Every time they've put a bomb up, it's been diffused by Fairfield Pats.
Daniel Russell, good offload there for McEwen. Then for Poisel, bit of pressure on the 7 there. It's Jackie up in defence. 5 inside their own half. Curry back infield with Daniel Russell, offloading for Mahana Tai. The 2 centres now become the strike players, the 3 and the 4. Russell and Mahana Tai coming into their own. 39 from the line with Poisel. He has Wade Russell on his outside, passes back inside, put down by Khalil, and Skewthorpe with a chance to run and tackled 30 out from his own line.
Well, no surprise to see Skewthorpe back there to clean things up. Pounce on the ball once it got dropped. But Khalil having a very good game. He coming on off the bench, really making the most of his opportunities. Some great work in defence, and there we saw good work in attack as well.
We highlighted right at the top of the coverage. Sean ran through some of the heartaches and heartbreaking matches for Fairfield Pats over the past 3 years. At the moment, this one appears as if it's headed the same way. They're playing well enough to probably be in front. They just can't put the points on the board. Gordon stretches wide here for Hunter Sports High. They're only 20 metres away. And back infield with Mercer. 5th tackle. Adams to the right, Ty. Rubber kick, he's found the in goal, perfectly weighted. Falone has lost it in goal, then tries to force it. Luckily goes over the dead ball line. Heart in mouth stuff, line drop out Fairfield.
A real coach killer this. Looks like he had the ball in his possession. Falone fumbles, has it again, no, loses it again. Doesn't know where it is, and it just finds its own way over the dead ball line. And there we see him, Falone. Very happy to see that one go over the line.
The school captain of Fairfield Pats saves himself from an embarrassing moment. And back come Hunter with Dane Lear. Able to run, not a straight line coming up. Lear passed out the back and intercepted by Quinn.
That was very lucky for Fairfield Pats. They put a big chase on that kick, but they weren't even across the field. And if Hunter could have got the ball to the right, they were in a lot of trouble, Fairfield Pats.
On their 40-metre line. And now inside the Hunter half. Plenty of time left. Try makes it very interesting for Fairfield. Poisel, 45 away. Passing there for the fullback Talanoa. Hasn't had too many chances up on the line as fullback. Some good work at the back though. Poisel thought about the switch. Couldn't find anyone deep enough to run onto the ball. 5th tackle. Nadim Curry. Daniel Russell's bomb. It's going to come down for Skewthorpe. Skewthorpe, up he goes and down he comes and away he goes. Over the 30-metre line, the fullback. A classy player if ever there was one at schoolboy football. And now 49 metres away from Fairfield. There was pressure on and then the counter-attack. Top shelf from the fullback. 40 from the line. Heath Jackie for Hunter Sports High has lost it. So we still have a ball game here at Marathon Stadium. 16-6, Hunter Sports High in front. Marathon Stadium venue today for the Nutri Cup. Our first game of 2001. Competition has been running since the start of the year, all the qualifying schools. Today we see two of the best. Plenty of handling errors, but still that half-time margin of 10 points protected by Hunter Sports High. But they've left the door open for Fairfield. Poisel for McEwen. 20 away. All in all tackle. Needed two on the number 12. Curry running to the open side. There was only two on his outside there. Takes the tackle himself. Phillip Adams there in defence. 4 tackles up. They're 15 away. And running is Russell. That is Wade, the centre. 5 metres away and 5th tackle. Repeat set would be nice. Points would be even better, as Roberts was able to pass 2 metres from the line. Still on for Fairfield Pats. They've got there the front rower, the big number 10, Kane Kennedy. Powers his way over, and it is game on at 16-10.
That's exactly what they needed. The last tackle who got caught in the hands of Willie Roberts. He thought the play was going to die. As we just see it now, ends up here with Roberts. He goes to the line, he sees a half a gap, he's able to offload. And Russell went so close himself and popped a great ball. Kane Kennedy couldn't believe his luck, and he used his weight, spun in the tackle and placed it over.
And now Russell to convert. He's brought the margin back to 4. 16-12 knockout football in the Nutri Cup, and Hunter Sports High in front.
12 here at Marathon Stadium. Travel with Sid Fogg's coach line to Parramatta Stadium for the round 17 game.
Look at Kennedy. Well, he definitely lost it. It wasn't a case of nearly lost it. He did lose it. He gave nothing away, though, the big fella.
Fairfield Pats have had enough bad luck over the years to accept that one.
Sunday, June 10.
And he hails from Picton, the front rower. Kennedy, the try that has got his team right back in it. Now look at the wind in their sails. Willie Roberts running back from the kickoff. Muir. Even the little winger's able to make 10. 4-point ball game. Newcastle School in front. Kennedy, the try scorer. Another big run, almost back to halfway. They've done it quickly. Good start to the set. Switch of play from Russell. This is Magali. He's 45 from the Hunter Sports High line. Time is still their friend. There's plenty there. Wade Russell. Strong second half from the number 3. 5th tackle for Fairfield. Curry. Russell. They want to run it. Poisel. He's got 3 on his outside. The halfback will be caught in possession. Till Scott across there with a 5'8" Bradley tie.
Well, he had the choice to pass before the line. He elected to go to it and try to offload once he got to the line. But it was good defence from Hunter Sports High. They wrapped him up. He was unable to get this ball free. Could have gave it there. They had 3 on 2. But Poisel just probably making the wrong decision in the end.
Phillip Adams will play it on the 30 for Hunter Sports High. They led 16-0 in the first half. Completion rates for both teams, nothing to write home about. But it's kept up the even contest.
What has evened it up, Vossi, I think, is that the set with the quick play the balls that Fairfield Pats were able to put on. They haven't done it all game, but they had their tails up after that try.
Offside with Gilbert. Russell's got him again. He's really got physical in this second half, the centre Wade Russell. Bradley Ty, 5th tackle. Good kick too. Muir's got it covered though. Back on his own goal line, Muir. Can he get back to the 20? He'll do that. He'll get beyond the 20. Smallest man on the field. What
they have got, Fairfield Pats, is 2 very safe wingers and a safe fullback, and it puts you in great confidence. Oh, big tackle there. I don't know whether it was too bad, whether it was illegal.
Well, he's already ruled the knock on here against Falone. And the Hunter boys getting all fired up on the back of this tackle. Bordering on dangerous, but he didn't have the grip between the legs, did he, no, Darryl Gordon?
He did not. It was pretty much a copybook tackle. Both. It was a lifting, driving tackle. Okay, it looked bad. And that's probably why the referee's going with the scrum.
Skewthorpe. Dare say next scorer wins this match. Luke Mercer. Dummy half, 29 away. Hunter up by 4. They're only 25 from the Fairfield line. Phillip Adams. Infield with Kelly. haven't been able to lay that same platform through the forwards in this second half, Hutter. Had it all their own way for much of the first half. Wide ball here with Gordon. They will look to their captain and number 6 to put the stamp on here. He's with the ball. Passes for Lear. Lear's 10 metres from the line, around the corner for Mercer. This is desperate now for Fairfield. Their season goes on the line. 5th tackle with the ball is Goodchild. Keeps it going to the outside. That looked forward to Watt and has been called as such. So a changeover on the last tackle. Fairfield hang on.
A great defence here from Fairfield. There's a couple of killer blows we thought Hunter were going to land, but Fairfield held on. Let's have a look at this pass again. Just hesitates, goes to the line tie, just passes the ball just in front. And Michael Watt probably overrun a little.
Task starts again for Fairfield. 15 inside their own half. Curry to Poisel. Wide with Russell, then for Ty. That was a tough ball. Falone's away down the left side. Gordon gets across in cover. With him was Ridley. 45 metres from the line. Falone's wondering, what have I done to this lock forward Gordon? He wants me, he gets me every time. 35 from the line, Fairfield in possession. Down by 4, 5th tackle. Some disappointing last tackle plays in this half. Russell. Floating pass for Russell, that's Wade. 20 from the line, kicks back in field. It's still on for Poisel leading the charge. He gets there, the number 7. What a comeback from Fairfield. Down 16-0, now it is 16-all, and they have a shot to go in front.
Well, Wade Russell, we knew how dangerous he was. It's just a case of getting the ball to him. Every time he's touched it, he's looked dangerous. As the ball comes right here, big cutout pass. And his opposition, the number 3, Luke Mercer, has had nightmares. I thought he could have passed it inside Wade Russell. He elected to put it on the foot, but a great backing up and chasing there from Poisel. Very deserved of him. He's worked very hard for Fairfield Pats.
Shawnee needs to get this kick though. If he misses, and we finish at 16-all, count back win to Hunter Sports High. Though we say, oh no, not again. Daniel Russell to put his side in front. He's done that. First time in the match. 18-16. Courageous.
This makes those simple kicks even more difficult. It's a short kick. Oh, hang on.
Not covered up by Curry. It'll be a knock-on against Fairfield.
I thought he could have even played the advantage there. Dane Lear ended up with the ball, I believe, which could be vital minutes wasted here while this scrum packs.
Newthorpe's kick. Suggestion some of his teammates were a fraction offside from the kickoff. So plenty of handling errors, but I'll say again, it's kept up the excitement level. And here's the last shot for Hunter Sports High. Skewthorpe loses the ball in the tackle. Picked up by Bradley Ty. Rushing up out of the line. Oh, Quinn went for it. Missed. And thankfully so. Might have ended up with his head in his hands. Adams passes to the right. They go with Mercer. Sudden death football at its best this. It is knockout. Loser eliminated from the Nutri Cup. And Hunter Sports High, who have led for all bar 5 minutes of the match. Now Ty passes for Gordon. Gordon is 15 away. Now he's 10 away and now 5. What a finish. Final 60 seconds coming up. Ty, 10 away from the line. Skewthorpe has put it down and Fairfield have come up with a ball.
Well, you would say that's that. With 55 seconds left on the clock. Skewthorpe, quite ironic, probably the best player on the field. But it was a difficult ball to catch.
Daniel Russell comes away for Fairfield, Sean. They need to just hold it to the end and then reef it over the sideline.
But they were desperate, Fairfield, weren't they? They got up on Skewthorpe. It was a difficult ball. It was high. It was under pressure and it went to ground. Now they'll try and just waste this set of 6, maybe put the ball over the touchline at the end.
30 seconds remaining. Curry. Fairfield Pats in possession. Leading by 2. And they've got a 1969 cramp come into play. Nathan Curry, Nadim.
They weren't born, these players, in 69.
Daniel Russell. This is the last tackle. They may be able to play out the set. Poisel does the right thing. Over the sideline. There'll be no time for the scrum to pack. And the curse is broken for Fairfield Pats. 3 years of heartbreaking losses, and this one goes their way. And our Nutri-Grain man of the match today, player of the match, Wade Russell. Dynamic second half. A Parramatta junior, one to write down in the little black book. So what a match to start the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Cup for 2001. The winners, Patrician